Welcome to Trade Pro. This is the release and tutorial video for the newest Trade Pro trading strategy script. This one is the 14th to be created, and all of them, along with a few other things, are available on the Patreon page. The link is down in the description if you're interested in getting access. Now, let's cover what the strategy is, how this is actually entering into trades, and also go over all the different customizable features and settings that you can choose with this. So let's check it out. Now let's talk about how this is entering into positions. So as you can see, this is based on a pullback into the 20-period exponential moving average for an entry. Now this is only trading with the main trend direction as determined by both the 200-period exponential moving average and also the cross between the 20 and the 50-period exponential moving average. So the 20 crosses below the 50 and price comes below the 200 EMA, then it's going to be looking for the first pullback into the 20 EMA to enter into a short position. Now for a long position, price comes over the 200 EMA. We see that the 20 period EMA crosses over the 50 EMA, and then it's going to look for the first pullback, as you can see right here, into the 20 EMA to enter into a long position. So we can see it happening over here again, where we see the cross up of 20 over 50 EMA, price comes over the 200 EMA, then it enters long on that first pullback into the 20 EMA. Okay, and again over here we see cross down 20 below 50, first pullback into the 20 is where it enters into the position, and this one is a loss for that short position. We see it happen again. We see the cross down with the 20 below the 50, price is under the 200 EMA, and it enters into a short on the first pullback into the 20 EMA, and this one just happens to be a winner. How I have it set up right now is with a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So we can see this strategy does have an edge, 63% win rate here using a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So doing quite well. Now that's the basic strategy. What I'll do is test it on a much larger sample size of price data using deep history, and then I will go ahead and kind of cover all the different settings and customizable parts within the strategy settings. Now I'll turn on deep history to increase the sample size of back-tested trades and see if the results can hold up. So turning that on, we go from 180 trades to 395 closed trades, and we still see this maintaining its edge in the market with still a 60% win rate using a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So not 63 like it was on the smaller sample size of data, but nonetheless maintaining a strong edge in the market. So now I'll go over all the different customizable settings here where you can move the stop loss, take profit target parameters, do a trailing stop, dollar cost average feature, or change the exponential moving averages being used. So let's cover everything in here now. All right, let's go through all the different customizable parts within the settings of this trading strategy script. Starting up top with the EMA settings, where we have 3 different exponential moving averages, which you can set to whatever length that you'd like. Remembering that the fast EMA length here, set to 20, is the one that is going to be triggering an entry. So if you don't want pullbacks to the 20 EMA to be your entry trigger, you can change it to the 50 EMA, the 9 EMA, whatever you want to trigger that entry when price pulls back to that specified EMA. Okay, and then another thing here is the EMAs must cross for a new entry. I have turned on, and essentially if enabled, this lets the strategy only open a single position per EMA cross. If you turn this off, it can enter into positions anytime that price pulls back into the 20 EMA, even if the 20 has not crossed over the 50 in between. So right now it's just entering one time per cross of the 20 and the 50. Hopefully that makes sense. And then there's the EMA filter, so you can actually turn this off. I have it set to a 200 period EMA, which is just a trend direction filter, so only going to short below the 200, only going to take longs over the 200. If I turn it off, it's not going to have this as a condition, so it's only going to be using the 20 and the 50 crosses as the trend direction indication. So I just turned off the 200, and you can see now there are more positions being entered. Win rate goes down a bit, but now we don't have that 200 EMA filter to kind of filter the trend direction on a longer term. So it tends to do better with that longer term trend direction filter added in. Now we'll go down to the next section here, the position entry settings. And here you can choose between long entries and short entries or enable both. You can restrict entries to a certain date range, certain days of the week, and a certain time range. You can have it skip entries based on commission being greater than estimated profit. There's an additional RSI filter, and you can have it skip entries if the previous trade's unrealized profit reaches a certain percent. And now with that being done, we have probably the most important section of the strategy script, and that is choosing how it's going to be placing the stop loss and how it's going to be placing the take profit target. There's also dynamic stop loss option for trailing stop losses or moving the stop loss to break even, and there's also even a dollar cost averaging functionality as well. So let's get into this section of the settings. Now, starting with the stop loss strategy, you can choose to have the stop loss placed based on ATR multiple, a moving average of the ATR, percent based, tick based, or disabled. And then down here in this section, you can choose the individual length or multiplier for any of these different settings. So whatever you would like to place the stop loss based on, you can customize that in this section. Now, there is also the ability to enable a dynamic stop loss. And what that means is you can have a trailing stop loss or a moving stop loss. So for instance, if you want to have the stop loss move to break even at a certain point based on the parameters you set in here, you can have that stop loss move to break even at a certain point or move wherever you choose. You can also have the stop loss trail based on a few different factors. So we can have it start trailing right away, or we can have it start trailing at a certain point after price moves a certain percentage, a certain number of ticks, or a certain risk multiple. And you can even have it trail the stop loss at a certain EMA, a certain ATR multiple, or have it maintain the distance that it's originally started at. So a bunch of different things you can do in here with moving the stop loss or trailing the stop loss as well. Now let's talk about the take profit strategy, which right now I have set to a risk multiplier, and then I chose 1. So it's going to be using a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. If I set it to 2 here, then it's going to be using a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio, or anything in between, whatever you would like to set there. But you can also choose an ATR based take profit, moving average of the ATR based, percent based, tick based, or disabled. But if you do disable it, you're going to want to have some sort of trailing stop loss enabled so that it can take profit at that trailing stop loss eventually. Now below that section, we have a few little things here, such as close position early if price crosses a moving average of your choice. You can close the position after a certain number of minutes, or close the position on reaching the end of the trading session. Now, one of the last major things here is the ability to enable dollar cost averaging. So instead of entering the entire position at just the 20-period exponential moving average, you can have it dollar cost average if price keeps going against you, and that can all be customized within the settings right here. Now below that, we have the activate custom order size settings as well. Currently I have it turned off, so that's why we see only a 15% net profit. But if we risk 2% of the account equity per trade, then we'll see this net profit figure is going to change, of course. So there we go, 156. So just based on how much you want to have it risk per trade, you can set that here and kind of see what the drawdown would be, what the net profit would be based on the historical backtesting data. And below that, we just have the alert section, alert message section as well. And along with a few other customizable things down here, such as just how it looks and the trading widget here that kind of shows all of the different parameters and things that are going on with the script. So you can see most wins in a row 7, most wins in a row 3, number of shorts open, number of longs opened, and just a bunch of different things that you want to know about a strategy's performance. Okay, so that is going to finish it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Again, if you're interested in getting access to this script or all of the other scripts, twice weekly market report videos made by me, and also learning my personal trading strategy, then check out my Patreon page with the link in the description down below. Thank you. Have a nice day.